watch as you grow. Friends and family drift away. Boy, don't you stop. Continue to fight. Forgive them peace and love, and everything will be alright. Say, hey, na na, hey, na na, hey, na na, hey, na na. Give me the music. Wow. Give me the movie. Give me the movie. Give me. Woo. Give me the guns. Give me. Give me the joker. Give me. Give me my culture. Hey, na na. Hey, my culture. Hey, na na. They say who can offer not honored. Bare feet by the pump I use to do water. Scrub or jelly bees, I come from the gutter. I didn't seek and catching freeze in the summer. Mama used to say, play with puppy and lick your mouth. 30 pieces of silver, man, you know what they're talking about. Boy, don't you stop, continue to fight. Forgive them peace and love, and everything will be alright. Say, stop peeping. Yeah. All the way. Hawkinson. Hey. All the way from Hawkinson. They call me Cupid. We had to talk about these bus drivers today. Man, they making no sense on the road. Man, they crazy. Let's deal with them now. Let me show you. They make one way to two way to three. The things they do, you gotta see to believe. Oh Lord, jump on this bus, it's 98 degrees. Man, this bus so broke down, he ain't got no why you lock like that? Fight the dog and cat. Man, please don't kill me for one.
Tonight, the family of a murder victim demanding answers. This as drama erupts in Parliament today. And later, the prison chief apologizes for comments made. We've got the latest on this. Eyewitness News starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janaea Noel. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, still no answers regarding the killing of 3 men whose demise continue to ignite questions about whether key leads are being overlooked and whether the cases have any bearing on an ongoing police probe. Jose Etienne joining me live tonight from the Bain and Grandstown community. He gives us the details on the relevance of that scene. Jose?
Janaea, it was just over 2 years ago when I stood here through Fleming Street covering the murder of Michael Fox Jr., a reputed gang leader who was gunned down inside his vehicle. 2 years later, no one has been arrested or prosecuted in relation to his killing. And so what deepens the mystery, though, is that Fox was the second of 3 men connected to a high-profile million-dollar theft investigation who would all be later murdered in similar fashion. And so tonight, many continue to ask, is his murder and the murder of the other suspects tied to what has become a major corruption case involving a former police chief superintendent, several police officers, and a practicing defense attorney, while his father, Michael Fox Sr., believes there is a strong connection.
I will never disconnect the fact that he was not killed by gang members. It's who owns the gang. And it's coming from the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Fox Sr. is doubling down on his claim that his son was killed as part of an alleged effort to cover tracks following the theft of more than $1 million from a vehicle parked at an airport in November 2023. Following that heist, Oral Roberts and Akil Holmes were charged. Fox Jr. and Dino Smith were also named as suspects, but it is alleged they evaded prosecution following an alleged quid pro quo arrangement involving former Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson and Attorney Bajon Ferguson. Months later, Smith was fatally shot in January. Fox was killed in May. Roberts was murdered in July. 3 men connected to the same theft investigation, 3 unsolved murders, and now growing questions about whether those cases have gone cold.
If you cannot bring things to the forefront, it makes it look like you're very guilty of something. Why are you hiding it? Why is it taking so long? These are the questions. And they're not being answered.
The scandal has cast a harsh spotlight on public concerns about corruption within the police force, even as leadership changes have been made. Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles has previously said there is no evidence so far linking the killings to the corruption probe. But Fox Sr. says justice will only come if investigators follow the evidence and connect the dots.
This is one of the best cases for them. All the cases is the best cases for them to clean up the way that people see them. I think they should deal with it now. Even with the new Minister of National Security. I spoke to him before and he spoke on the matter saying it was wrong when I shared light on the situation. So I hope now that he is in place, he would do justice on this matter.
The high-profile corruption trial is expected to begin next March. Fox Sr. says he's not optimistic that justice will be served, but he's still waiting for his son's killer to be exposed and jailed.
They are doing their own investigation. They are putting people before the court. They are putting people before their own people. So what do you think I expect? I expect for this to come out to be nothing.
Now, Janelle, what we do know is that Akil Holmes is the only suspect who outlived his alleged accomplices, and it is expected that he will be used as a prosecution witness in this case. Another striking element here is that a police officer will also testify for prosecutors after he admitted to receiving $10,000 from the stolen funds, and he was granted immunity. But even as attention remains fixed on the $1 million heist and the corruption case now before the courts, the killings allegedly tied to it remain shrouded in mystery. For now, I'm Jose Etienne reporting live from Fleming Street, sending it back to you, Janelle.
On to some other news tonight. After striking plea deals with U.S. prosecutors, an Abaco man who admitted to helping smuggle both cocaine and undocumented migrants from the Bahamas to the U.S. has been sentenced to more than 5 years in a federal prison. 52-year-old Ivan Curry pleading guilty to conspiracy to import controlled substances in a case involving 168 kilos of cocaine and 31 Chinese nationals. Under that plea agreement, other charges against Curry were dismissed. He was also ordered to serve some 5 years of supervised release following his prison term. Curry was among several men sentenced this week for their roles in a sophisticated drug and human smuggling operation dismantled by U.S. authorities last year. His co-defendant Malik Delancey also entered a guilty plea, received a sentence of 4 years and 3 months in prison. Delancey also benefited from a plea agreement that saw additional charges being dropped. Court documents show the case stemmed from a September 2025 interdiction when U.S. authorities intercepted 3 go-fast vessels traveling from the Bahamas toward Florida. They were carrying 31 Chinese nationals and 168 kilos of cocaine. Prosecutors say Curry captained that third vessel and admitted he knew about the narcotics and the undocumented migrants that were being transported. Investigators further reveal that Curry told authorities that coolers were commonly used to conceal and transport cocaine during smuggling operations. Well, an explosive U.S. court affidavit and allegations of political corruption at the center of a heated clash on the floor of Parliament as the Free National Movement made an attempt to table the document. Arlington Ritchie Jr. has the details tonight.
On a point of order, Speaker.
Again,
Honourable members.
Madam Speaker.
A dramatic showdown erupting in the House of Assembly as opposition leader Michael Pintard attempted to table a U.S. federal court affidavit containing allegations of links between a Bahamian politician and an international drug trafficking network. But before the document could be formally entered into the parliamentary record, House Speaker Patricia DeVoe shut the effort down, the Speaker ruling that the proper procedures had not been followed.
If you want to present something, present it to me. Present it to via my clerk, and it will be presented to the legal team, and they will advise the Speaker.
The 12-page affidavit filed in the U.S. Southern District of New York courts has sparked significant public interest since its release last month. The document forms part of the case against convicted Bahamian drug trafficker Jonathan Eric Gardner and details surrounding an undercover investigation into an alleged international cocaine smuggling operation. It includes claims that a Bahamian politician identified only as, quote, Politician 1 met with Gardner inside Parliament and allegedly received cash payments. Pintard argued that the affidavit should be tabled given the serious nature of the allegations and their potential implications for the country's democratic institutions. He also pointed to a 2020 instance when a writ of summons containing allegations against then Deputy Prime Minister Peter Turnquest was tabled in the House.
Here laid multiple documents in this House that the Speaker did not have any prior sight of. Did not have any sight of. And it is a document that has been in public circulation.
But DeVoe maintained that the issue was not the content of the document, but whether established parliamentary procedures had been followed.
If the reputation of the House of Assembly is at risk of being damaged.
No, hold on. Let me speak to that.
Then, Madam
the
Speaker,
reputation
can I at least finish the statement?
Of the House
May
of
I at
Assembly
least finish the
is
statement?
not at risk.
Despite the setback, Pintard says he's now formally submitted the affidavit to the clerk of the House for consideration through the appropriate channels. The document's failed tabling comes as questions continue to swirl over the identity of politician number 1 and whether any Bahamian officials will be drawn into the expanding U.S. investigation. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Meantime, questions being raised about whether allegations discussed in Parliament should be publicly debated before being fully reviewed by the Privileges Committee, while some believe transparency is essential. Others are arguing tonight that established parliamentary procedure should be allowed to run their course first. Eyewitness News turned into social media posing the question, should allegations be debated in Parliament before an investigation is completed? 31% of participants voting yes. The public has a right to hear all information immediately. Some 55% says no, investigation should be completed before debate. 13% voted only if there is credible evidence supporting the claims. 1% said that they were unsure and more information was needed. On to news from the Crime Beat tonight. Police say 2 juvenile females and a 20-year-old man survived a shooting attempt on their lives. Early this morning, police say the incident unfolded shortly after the man, accompanied by the mother of his child and her sister, went to pick up his sister from a residence on the Okra Hill area after she was reportedly assaulted by her boyfriend. Authorities note that the man parked a distance away from the residence to avoid a confrontation. However, as his sister walked toward that vehicle, police say abusive language was heckled at her by a group of men. Shortly after that, authorities say they left. 2 men, however, riding on a motorcycle, allegedly approached the vehicle and opened fire towards them. Police say the driver struck the motorcycle and caused the riders to fall. They say they made it to the hospital, where it was revealed that the 17-year-old suffered a grazed wound to the abdomen and another 17-year-old sustained injuries to her left forearm, the man receiving a grazed wound to his right ear. The 16-year-old and the man have both been discharged from hospital, while the 17-year-old remains hospitalized and in stable condition. No arrests have been reported. However, investigations are ongoing tonight. This just in from police. They say a man reportedly fell out of a tree and died on Palm Beach Street. That's off of Cordo Avenue. It's said to be an industrial incident. Details at this time are still limited, but stay tuned to our Eyewitness News digital platform for all of the latest updates. Moments before that, police were called to the scene where, what they say, it began as a leisurely snorkeling excursion for a group of visitors. That ended in tragedy after an American tourist was found unresponsive in waters off of West Bay Street. Inspector Gerard Culmer says investigators believe the American man in his early 70s became separated from his companions during that excursion, setting off a chain of events that ended in tragedy.
After 20 minutes, his friends found him unresponsive. As a result, they tried to get assistance from members of the community nearby who assisted them in bringing him on the shore. I just want to make a concerted effort and a plea to members of the public, visitors, locals, residents, that if you plan on enjoying our beautiful Bahama waters, that you please pay special attention to the weather format, the weather alerts, so you can know if the water is good to be swimming in. He is a U.S. national tourist. However, he was enjoying his vacation in a rental property on West Bay Street.
Well, a family vacation to the Bahamas taking a costly turn after 6 Colorado cruise ship passengers were ordered to pay thousands of dollars in fines and compensation to police officers following a brawl at the Nassau cruise port that left one of the officers with a dislocated shoulder. Videos of that reported incident going viral this week. The group who arrived in Nassau aboard the Disney Fantasy on June 7th, appearing before Senior Magistrate Kara Turnquest today to answer to a series of charges arising from that incident. 3 police officers were also listed as virtual complainants in the matter, including one officer, as we said, who suffered an injury during that attack. The defendants, Daniel Duran, Gabriel Aguilar, Jalen Duran, Ivan Aguilar, Andrew Tapia, and Jose Duran, they face various charges, including assaulting police officers, causing harm, damage to property, which involved a glass door of the police station, disorderly behavior, resisting arrest, using obscene language, and also escape. Now, Danielle Duran, a Denver-based nurse, she received one of the stiffest penalties, being fined some $16,600. She was also ordered to pay some $25,000 in compensation to an injured officer or face 1 year at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Jalen Duran and Gabriel D'Aguilar, they were all fined some $11,600 in order to pay compensation or serve 6 months in prison. Ivan Aguilar was fined some $28,000 in order to pay $25,000 in compensation or face 3 months in prison. Court officials indicating that Jose Duran, identified as the owner of a Colorado trucking company, and Andrew Tapia had already paid those fines. He was reportedly their father. Well, a police officer has been awarded some $21,500 in damages after a court found that he unlawfully was arrested, falsely imprisoned, and had his constitutional rights breached. Pedro Heald filed a suit against the Commissioner of Police and the Attorney General after his arrest in 2023. The matter was uncontested after the defendants failed to file a defense, resulting in a default judgment in June of 2024. Now, according to court documents, Heald voluntarily went to the Drug Enforcement Unit here in New Providence on March 3rd, back in 2023, after being told the units ahead wanted to see him. He claimed that when he arrived, an officer confiscated his cell phone, called him, quote, a no-good corrupt officer, and placed him under arrest without explaining why. Heald was later taken to his home, handcuffed, and made to watch as officers reportedly searched the property with the help of police dogs. Nothing illegal was found. The courts found that Heald's arrest was unlawful because he was never told the reason for his detention. Assistant Registrar Akira Martin also found that he was falsely imprisoned when he was handcuffed and that the search of his home was illegal. Heald was also awarded some $7,500 in legal costs. He was represented by Kelsey Monroe. While some 17,000 residents and 1,500 small business owners in Grand Bahama could look forward to a decrease in power bills being reflected as early as tomorrow. This according to Minister of Energy, Utilities and Aviation, Joette Kobe Davis, in her contribution to the budget debate in Parliament today.
The new bills, Madam Speaker, will reflect the elimination of the base rate for under 200 kilowatt hour of electricity, fuel charge tiers, alignment to consumption tiers, and the elimination of the storm recovery charge. As I highlight, I wish to point out that a residential consumer on Grand Bahama will move from paying 0.22 cents for 351 to 800 kilowatt hours to 0.11 cents.
That's plenty money.
A commercial consumer will move from paying 0.18 cents for a 20,000 to 100,000 kilowatt hour to 0.14 cents.
Well, Colby Davis also announcing the creation of an 8-member board to provide corporate oversight of the executive team of the Grand Bahama Power Company, also assuring existing employees of the company that the transition to government ownership continues. Job security, she says, is in mind.
It will be supported by Deputy Chairman Senator Jayan Major. Other board members include Sherlyn Brathwaite, Glennet Fowler, Carla Clare, Christopher Guthrie, Julian Sawyer, and Keith Russell.
Good board. That's a good board.
To the employees of Grand Bahama Power Company, I understand and appreciate that there is a level of concern of job security. Please note that this energy transformation underway in the Bahamas now includes Grand Bahama, and there is still much more work ahead.
Well, the Department of Immigration continuing to crack down on illegal migration carried out in a series of deportation operations today, resulting in the removal of some 74 foreign nationals. Officials say 21 Haitian nationals, 3 Cubans were also deported from the country in separate removal exercises. The first group of 9 Haitian men departed New Providence just after 9 this morning on an Lee Air flight to Cape Haitian. Minutes later, a second flight carrying some 62 Haitian nationals, including 49 men and 13 women, left on a Bahamas Air flight to the same destination. Then this afternoon, 3 Cuban women, they were removed from the country on a flight to Havana. Immigration officials also report that between June 6th and June 8th, an additional 16 foreign nationals were deported, including 12 Haitians, 2 Jamaicans, 1 Venezuelan, and an American. The department says all health and safety protocols were followed during the operations and stressed that enforcement exercises are a part of its ongoing efforts to uphold the country's immigration laws. Government moving full steam ahead with its continued commitment to increase access to affordable homes. Minister of Housing and Land Reform Keith Bell outlining those plans during his contribution to the budget debate in Parliament this evening.
Through our Clear Hole bill, 70 lots have already been identified and planning is advanced for construction. This is in all of our inner city communities, Madam Speaker. This is important, Madam Speaker, because many families do not wish to be pushed further and further away from established communities. They want to live near their families, near to their churches. They want to live near to their schools, where in these communities, the village concept is still alive. They want to remain in the communities where their roots already exist. I am therefore pleased to report that construction is well underway or is completed in homes in different areas, including Richland Park,
Yes.
Iris Court off John Chipman Road, Nassau Village, and Malcolm Lane.
Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard pushing back against growing calls for him to step aside following the party's defeat in the 2026 general election. He's dismissing criticism from individuals he says do not have relevance in the party's decision-making process, while also maintaining that the Free National Movement, they've already made their choice on the way forward. This despite questions about his leadership after an election loss. Pintard says he remains committed to leading the party and says he's prepared to continue the work of rebuilding the organization.
Relevant people are the council members of the party, and they've made a determination, not because I petitioned them or asked them. I placed myself in their hands. I was certainly prepared to do whatever they determined. I'm a team player, and they made a determination that they wish for me to stay on, notwithstanding the fact that they were presented with options.
Well, we've added another access point to make sure you're up to date with all of the latest news. You can follow the Eyewitness News WhatsApp channel, scan that QR code on your screen, or visit our social media pages for a direct link. While you're there, don't forget to follow Eyewitness News on Instagram and Facebook. But if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Eye News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms, Eyewitness News Bahamas at gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, the prison commissioner won't resign, but he's apologizing. We've got the details on that coming up. And later tonight, a first-time MP says the Five Island constituency cannot afford further neglect. We've got more on that right after this break.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Hey, psst, it's me, Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper, Saturday, June 20th at Atlantis, Bahamas. Cyndi Lauper. Tickets on sale now at atlantislive.com.
And it's gonna be a party, a big celebration.
Don't miss Cyndi Lauper live.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and everybody watching from Nassau. Tonight, we welcome a star. So please join me in welcoming the barbecue rap star, star of the show!
KFC, it's finger licking good.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back. A look tonight at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. You're getting the cheapest tonight at Rubis, $6.65. Shell coming in at $6.85. Esso, $6.95. Those are your local prices at the pump. Well, the fallout continues for Corrections Commissioner Don Clear, whose comments about male and female officers ignited a national debate this week over fairness, discrimination, and leadership within the country's uniformed services, which has left him on the defense. Our Linton Ritchie Jr. has the details in this report.
Under growing pressure to resign, Bahamas Department of Corrections Commissioner Don Clear is now apologizing for comments that sparked a firestorm of criticism, drew a rebuke from his minister, and triggered calls for his removal. The controversy stems from remarks Clear made to a recruit class dominated by women, where he suggested that a shortage of qualified men is forcing the nation's uniformed branches to accept more female applicants. He further indicated that female officers would face a zero-tolerance approach to misconduct, while male officers could be given a second chance because of the challenges in attracting men to the profession. The comments quickly ignited a public backlash, with women's advocacy groups, members of the public, and the Free National Movement condemning the remarks as sexist and discriminatory. In a statement issued Wednesday, Clear acknowledged that his comments were inappropriate and caused offense. He said, quote, "I accept responsibility for the impact of my words and sincerely regret the disappointment and concern they have caused." The prison chief maintained that his intentions was to highlight the recruitment challenges facing the country's uniformed services.
Some of them tend to want to take the easy road out, smoke marijuana, or drink alcohol. You see, so that's one of the reasons why the pool is so short.
The apology comes just one day after Minister of National Security Miles Larota publicly distanced himself from Clare's remarks, making it clear he did not support the commissioner's position. Clare admitted that his comments failed to reflect the values, standards, and principles of the Ministry of National Security, the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services, or the government of the Bahamas. Meanwhile, opposition leader Michael Pintard is calling for a formal investigation, saying the findings should determine whether Clare remains in office.
There should be further investigation to make sure that no action has been taken that's consistent with what he said. In other words, hopefully he has not violated any female's rights.
For his part, Clare says he's committed to ensuring that all future communications are delivered with professionalism, respect, and sensitivity. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Meantime, Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister Jomo Campbell defending the price of locally produced golden yolk eggs, saying Bahamians are paying for quality, not just a product. As ahead of his budget contribution in Parliament on Wednesday, Campbell argued that the eggs command a higher price because they are organically produced and grown right here in the Bahamas.
That may be the case, but the quality that we put into our locally produced eggs more than adequately justifies the cost. We can assure the general public that our golden yolk eggs are 100% organic. Our chickens are raised on 100% organic feed. They're not sitting on the dock for 2 weeks. There's no chemicals involved, and it's all 100% Bahamian labor.
Campbell maintaining that golden yolk eggs offer consumers a premium Bahamian product and represent an important part of the government's push to reduce the country's dependence on imports.
It's not the packaging or even the shells that make a difference. It's actually what's inside, what benefits the Bahamian people, what goes towards health and wellness. The packaging can always be repackaged, can always be recolored, reshaped. But what we wanted to do was actually get the produce out to the people. In time, we had chicks that were laying. We didn't want to hold them back. And so we put them on the shelves. They're doing well. To this date, we've sold over 8,000 cases of locally produced golden yolk eggs.
Meantime, as government increases its investment in supporting the agriculture industry and food security, the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute recorded record-breaking enrollment last term. This according to the Minister of State for Agriculture with responsibility for BAMSI, Leonardo Lightbourne, outlining those figures in his budget contribution to the debate. The growth, which he is hoping continues into the new term, he says, represents a growing interest among young people and the food security future. He also outlined recent expansions by the Institute to prepare for continued growth, including dormitory cluster classrooms.
It is about giving students the environment they need to learn, innovate, conduct practical work, and see themselves as a part of the future food production and marine resource management in the Bahamas. For a country like ours, Madam Speaker, where geography can create barriers to opportunity, the expansion of BAMSI dormitory capacity is particularly important. Students from across the Family Islands must be able to access training without being limited by distance, housing, or logistics.
Meantime, Member of Parliament for Michael J. Leo Ferguson also contributing to the budget debate today in his maiden speech, making a plea for government to consider greater investment into his constituency, as he suggests the investment could provide a pathway for the Southern Islands to depend much less on the capital for basic needs and functions.
Water system upgrades, reliable water, health costs, and support small businesses. In 2026, the choice should not be between hygiene and harvest. The upgrades will provide a sustained supply that is necessary for basic human needs. Hurricane recovery and infrastructure funding available to rebuild homes, roads, and public buildings in Crooked Island and Auckland. A real physical strategy. If the government of today is running a surplus and using debt savings to free up money for Family Island services, this creates less interest on national debt, which equals more room to fund clinics, roads, and schools in the South. These are long-term fixes. The Southern Islands still face out-migration of young people, limited private investment, and hurricane risk. The bet the government should consider is lower energy cost plus better connectivity plus local training equals more economic activity, and the people will invest in home.
He also gave some recommendations for what they could invest in or what that investment could look like, including investments into ecotourism, tax breaks, and training for employment in the island's key areas.
Creation of a VAT-free zone that allows free trade with our international neighbors. These programs help greatly where import costs are already exorbitant. Mail-bill subsidies, over $12 million in subvention, budgeted to keep mail-bills running to the South. With that, create and enforce fixed tariff rates, making goods affordable. Include better airlift, which means more visitors, easier cargo, less isolation. The Family Island Development Fund, where revenue generated should be reinvested locally with the mindset of taking care of yourself. The idea creates the capital to fund roads, clinics, and small projects without waiting on Nassau.
Moving on to another issue demanding national attention, mental health. This month being observed as Men's Mental Health Month, the question remains, are spaces being created to facilitate meaningful mental health facilities for men? Our Danielle Dean speaking with BDOC's officials about the details in this next report.
A dramatic drop in violence inside the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services is being credited to a mental health program introduced 4 years ago. Commissioner Don Clare revealing that before the team was established in 2021, the facility averaged 1 murder per month among inmates suffering from mental health challenges. Today, he says there has just been 1 murder in the past 4 years. The revelation comes as the country observes Men's Mental Health Month, and prison officials shine a light on the growing need for mental health services behind bars.
They come with substance use issues, and of course substances cannot be used there, and so the treatment regimen for them has to happen right away. Of course, there's also schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, major depressive disorder, generalized anxiety disorders, and so we do see a combination of persons who are battling those issues.
The difficulty and sometimes inability to source jobs post-release for some of the inmates also poses a risk to their mental health, as many of them seek to provide for their families upon release. Officials say the work release program is designed to help address that problem, allowing inmates to earn an income through construction and cleaning jobs while preparing for life after incarceration. Jewel Horden, forensic psychologist and co-director of juvenile facilities, says the approach is different for young offenders.
You still have to ensure that juveniles get the academic training that they ultimately need, but then also the vocational training as well, because let's be realistic, a lot of the young men possibly would not go back to school.
All 11 juveniles currently housed at the facility are male. Staff say their goal is not only to treat mental illness, but also to equip young men with the tools needed to successfully reintegrate into society. The commissioner believes more support is needed on the outside and says a halfway house may be necessary to help former inmates transition back into their communities.
Because if you traverse the streets of New Providence, you will see on just about every corner, there are some persons with some mental disability. And this is what we are trying to address. Eventually, we know they may end up here by way of, being sent by the courts.
Claire says the establishment of a new mental health facility for mental health staff and inmates, slated to be completed by September of this year, is expected to help the prison cut back on visits to the main hospital by some 50%.
And hopefully within this budget, we will get them 4 psychiatric nurses.
Ground was broken last year on a multi-million-dollar correctional facility that will include enhanced mental health services as officials continue their push to focus on rehabilitation and reform. Danielle Dean, Eyewitness News.
So to come in Eyewitness News tonight, is artificial intelligence in the workplace a threat or a tool? We explore that coming up, but first, a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Hi. Hello? Hey girl, I at Wendy's. I'm trying to go to Essence Fest. Wendy's and Coca-Cola want to take you and your bestie to New Orleans. July 3rd through 5th is Essence Fest, and you could be traveling VIP style.
Roxy?
Tenders?
Tenders.
All you gotta do is upgrade any premium lunch combo 1 through 12 or a salad to a large, like a spicy number 6, add cheese and bacon, or a Dave's Classic, or my personal favorite, tendies. This will now serve as your final boarding call for Flight 735, service into Essence Fest. Boarding now. Nola! We coming back?
Because their skin is as delicate as they are, every cuddle should feel like a cloud. And Suino Baby is hypoallergenic and plant-based, providing 35 days of gentle freshness. And Suino Baby, softness you can trust for the ones you love the most.
Step inside a world of adventure with Mandalorian and Grogu at Burger King. See The Mandalorian and Grogu only in cinemas.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. The country is continuing to plan to prepare for the integration of artificial intelligence into the workforce. Minister of Labor, Public Service and National Insurance, Pia Glover-Roll, sharing that the future of work will be shaped by the policies adopted today. She addressed delegates at the 114th session of the International Labor Conference. Glover-Roll noting that while the information and digital age taught society how to access data on an unprecedented scale, she says the age of AI requires a greater ability to interpret information and act on it. She's emphasizing tonight that government, businesses, and workers must all adapt to this shift and that the Bahamas is ready to move forward with AI.
Bahamas has made its choice. We are determined that this intelligent age will benefit our people, and we are already taking concrete steps to make that a reality. Our approach begins with responsibility. We recently passed updated data protection laws, and in our blueprint for progress, we've committed to AI-specific legislation that addresses the risks we discussed today. We're also preparing our people. More than 14,000 Bahamians have already enrolled in Upskill Bahamas, our free online learning initiative, which includes training in artificial intelligence. We are expanding enrollment to 25,000 in the coming months. We are already advancing plans for a Bahamas AI Academy to provide deeper training and help our people leverage AI in their careers and businesses.
Well, whether you love it or fear it, artificial intelligence is rapidly changing the way people work. And while government officials are now looking at how to bring AI into the Bahamian workforce, some local entrepreneurs say they've already been putting the technology to work for years. Our Rebecca Bain has the details tonight.
The government of the Bahamas is moving forward with plans to integrate artificial intelligence into the workforce as technology continues to rapidly evolve across the globe. Officials believe AI has the potential to improve efficiency, drive innovation, and create new opportunities for businesses. But for Alceda Hill, owner of Natural Glow Skincare, the technology isn't something of the future. It's already part of her day-to-day operations.
We don't print business cards anymore. We use like a QR code, and that's a form of AI. We have it on the back of our phone. They scan it, they got you, they follow you, and they won't lose it. With our new location that's going to be in the Venetian Shopping Plaza, it's going to be a smart spa where AI is going to be answering questions that clients may have throughout the day, 24 hours a day, rather than how my employees usually would only work from 9 to 6.
And while AI may feel like new territory for some, Duran Hume, CEO of Plato Alpha Design and TriBlock HR, says he's been incorporating the technology into his workflow for nearly a decade and encourages those who may be hesitant to take the time to understand its capabilities.
And once you understand it, that fear is basically gone, because then you understand, like, hey, if I don't do it, my competition is going to use it, right? And they're going to be faster, they're going to be better than me. I need to use it to make myself better, to make the products and services that I offer to my customers better at the end of the day. Because something that may have taken you a few weeks to actually execute on, it can take you a few hours.
One of the biggest questions surrounding AI remains its impact on employment, with many concerned that automation could eventually displace workers in a variety of industries. However, both business owners say human creativity, relationships, and decision-making remain critical components of success.
It may give me an idea, but it's not actually going to do my facial for my client. If you go into AI and you say, make me a flyer, compared to a graphic designer here in Nassau, their design is going to be way more connected to the consumers on this island compared to AI that's just a computer.
For Humes, AI is best viewed as a tool that enhances human performance rather than replaces it.
There isn't really much of an integration with, let's say, a QuickBooks and the local banking system, right? Our accountant doesn't necessarily have to do basically anything. They just take the raw output from the bank, plug it into AI, and then plug it into QuickBooks. So that saves us a ton of time.
As the government continues its push to bring AI into more workplaces, officials say ensuring Bahamians have access to the knowledge and skills needed to benefit from the technology will remain a top priority. Rebecca Bain, Eyewitness News.
So to come in Eyewitness News tonight, our Laurencia Smith is live on location with your latest check on sports. Good evening, Laurencia.
Good evening, Janaea. That's right. I'm live on location tonight at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium as Team Bahamas pulled away from the U14 Pony Championships with some hardware. I'll tell you more about it straight ahead in sports.
In his first official visit to an educational institution since assuming the portfolio, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, met with University of the Bahamas leaders to discuss the institution's strategic future and strengthen government collaboration.
I believe collectively, with the support of me as minister, the support of the government, support of yourselves, I believe we can truly achieve the vision that you've set and the contributions that you have put in. Hopefully we can see them all come to fruition in a manner that you desire.
UB President Dr. Robert Blaine welcomed the meeting with ministry officials and praised the Board of Trustees for their work.
Having an alumnus as the minister is one of the best things that we could possibly ask for, and we're grateful. Grateful for that. I want to join the chair in saying that I have an incredible team. These are the people that do the real work. They do the heavy lifting here, and they make opportunities for our students that are just beyond imagination.
Chairperson of the board, Allison Maynard Gibson, expressed her gratitude to DPM Cooper for the timely visit and outlined the university's key priorities.
The board's number one priority is international and national accreditation. We already happily have become a candidate for SAC-COC accreditation. We expect by the end of this year to finish our compliance requirements.
John Lee McIntosh for Air Talk.
And this year I come in my 2027. Oh, God is so good. Island Lock, I thank you, I tell you. I'm going to pray over this and I'm going to drive this all around town and show off and show them what Island Lock does for customers like me. I caught the keys with Island Lock and thank you, Jesus. I caught the keys.
Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Laurencia Smith. Thanks for joining us. Kicking things off in sports tonight, we're on the baseball diamond here at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium. Now, Team Bahamas was able to deliver a silver medal performance in the U14 Pony Caribbean and Latin American Championships. At the bottom of the fifth inning, they were able to end that game with a 10-0 run against Puerto Rico, who captured gold. Meanwhile, Team Bahamas hosts put up a spirited fight in the bronze medal game to come up short against Venezuela in a high-stake 10-15 battle over at the stadium. While neither of the Bahamian squads were able to reach the top step of the podium, both teams delivered memorable performance throughout the tournament. The Bahamas champs battled their way to a title game, while the Bahamas hosts fought in a medal round. Now, this tournament is just another testament of the growth and development of our next generation of Bahamian baseball stars. Well, congratulations to all of the teams that participated, and a special congratulations to Team Bahamas. Now, switching gears from the diamond on to the tennis court, as the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association and the Bahamar Foundation is joining forces to host its upcoming junior national tennis competition over at Bahamar Tennis Center. The Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association and the foundation made the major announcement at the resort on Wednesday, unveiling a new partnership designed to further elevate the sport of tennis in the Bahamas. Speaking at the event, interim president of the association, Marvin Roll, who expressed his gratitude to the resort and its tennis center for their commitment to the development of the sport. Roll stated that the collaboration represents another important chapter in the growth of tennis across the country, creating new opportunities for athletes, coaches, and the next generation of Bahamian tennis players.
26th to the 30th. The partnership represents more than a change in venue. It represents a new chapter for tennis in the Bahamas. The past few years, tennis in Bahamas has faced its share of challenges. As the interim board, we are committed to restoring confidence and rebuilding relationships and bring renewed energy and excitement back into the sport.
Meanwhile, Senior Vice President of Bahamar, Robert Sandy Sands, says that the partnership is yet another example of what can be achieved when community sports and youth development come together with a shared purpose.
Resilience, leadership, teamwork qualities that extend far beyond the court and help shape future generations of Bahamian leaders.
He also recognized the foundation's support, but says the tournament would not have been possible without its committed and investment in the development of tennis from its other sponsors.
I would also like to extend a very special thank you to our title sponsor, AID. Their generous support has helped make this event, has come on board through its Dasani and Powerade brands, has generously supported the event through signage and branding. Bahama Handprints has contributed beautiful gifts and prizes for our athletes. We are also thankful to the Smile Center, our family sponsors, and many individuals.
Well, that's a quick look at sports at this hour. I'm Laurencia Smith from the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless. service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Well, with young entrepreneurship and innovative business ideas on the rise, the Tourism Development Corporation joining in on the grant giving efforts. Primary and high schoolers got the opportunity last week to pitch business concepts during the TDC's Student Innovation Competition. A duo from the International School of Business, Education and Technology, class co-salutatorian Kendrick Ferguson and Caden Pratt emerged the winners after pitching an idea that would fill the water accessibility gap post-Hurricane Dorian.
We created a dehumidifier. We wanted to create a dehumidifier that converts moisture from the atmosphere into clean water to drink and to use. We also wanted to put a filter in so that persons can draw water from the tap or the salt water, and that can be converted into, usable water. Because we pitched this idea, we got a grant from the corporation of around $5,000 to help us with this development of our product.
Year-old says the $5,000 grand prize will be transferred to them methodically for direct investments into their pitched prototype. But as for youth and entrepreneurship, the youngster says he'd like to see more paths created for young people to succeed when they opt for non-traditional occupational routes.
I guess more certifications, more ways that we can be educated and empowered to do so. I feel as though coming out of high school, a lot of young people aren't equipped in certain areas. I know the government is doing a good job in the upskill program. I feel that as though education is the key, especially in the entrepreneurship sector.
Well, our graduation feature series continues tonight. We invited parents and loved ones to send us photos and videos of the most memorable moments this graduation season, and you did not disappoint. A special congratulations going out to Chad Farrington III. He's been promoted to first grade, and also David Roll from his parents and family and all of his special friends at Life Worship Center. Well, pots, pans, horns, loud cheers also rang out at the Jordan Prince Williams graduation. Today's students were celebrated in grand fashion for their academic success. A special congratulations going out to Shantina, Talia, Shalise, Jalela, Takia, Rondisha, Granique, Diamond, and Kalia. I hope I got all of them right for the completion of their high school years. Best of luck as you prepare for the real world. Well, that wraps up news at this hour, but coming up and beyond the headlines with Shanique Miller, a look at all of today's top stories. That's coming up and beyond the headlines that starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal saying good night and be safe, everyone.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At Investar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, callers, and advisors on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved.
Coming up tonight, home and business owners in Grand Bahama anticipating lower electricity bills as early as Thursday. The news greeted with open arms. We'll talk about that. F&M leader Michael Pintard says he's not going anywhere. This after the F&M says it will not have a convention this year. Meanwhile, there is growing social media talk on Andre Rollins and his taking the spotlight in the House. We talk about it. More on that viral video showing a visitor to the Bahamas in his attempt to escape from the tourism police station. Well, one of the officers suffered a dislocated shoulder. Those tourists charged today. We get caught up. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, we will get to the news of the lower electricity bills and more on energy for thousands of Grand Bahamians and Bahamians in a moment. But first, it is the first meaningful step on the road to a new international airport in Grand Bahama. Today, Aviation Minister JoBeth Colby-Davis announced that a new partnership is on the table with the Manchester Group, a major UK-based airport operator. Minister Colby-Davis, of course, talked about that during her 2026-2027 budget on energy, aviation, and utilities. Well, Minister Colby-Davis joins me this evening here on the show. It's good to have you here. Good evening and welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Good evening, Shanique, and I am happy to be back.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm happy to have you, and thank you for, after presenting today, making the time this evening, because Grand Bahamians want to hear more about this, as well as their lower electricity bills, but we'll get to that in a moment. But let's just talk about this. We know that for years, this is the kind of news Grand Bahama has been waiting to hear more about now. The thought behind it is that once a new airport is in place, that will be a real tangible first step, a meaningful step to turning the economy of Grand Bahama around in the right direction. It's already turned, we all agree on that, but certainly something that really kind of put that turnaround really in place to attract more visitors and all the rest of it. Let's just talk about this I guess, beginning conversations with the Manchester Airport Group.
So, Shanique, you're absolutely right. That airport is so important to Grand Bahamians.
Yes.
They deserve their new and improved modern international airport. It's important to the workers, the staff that has been working in those conditions for such a long time since the storm. It's important to the economy. It's important to our touristic product. And so getting the airport built and completed for them is a top priority. I met briefly last week with the Manchester Group, who I was advised from the team that has been working this with former Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, and that the Manchester Airport Group were the ones who won the RFP for them to be the operators. And so they've been working along with the Freeport Airport Development Company to go through the initial phase one of getting to their new airport. So where they are now is, I'm advised that they have some funding secured. So I'll get more details around that to give you more of the specifics at another time, because you know I'm always here visiting with you to give you information for the Bahamian people to hear. But I'm also advised that the phase one deals with the airport design, deals with the geotech work, deals with the flood mitigation.
That's hugely important.
Hugely,
because you don't want to go and invest. Are we at a place where we can talk figures as yet? Because you don't. Obviously, it's millions,
probably in the hundreds
of millions, and so you don't want to be able to invest that amount of money to get
Exactly.
something that is deserving of Grand Bahama and that destination to incur flooding again, as the airport before had the
Correct.
issues for so many years.
And so also, apart from the briefing and the geotech work that they're doing, what's also a priority is to ensure proper consultation is ongoing with our stakeholders in the next couple of months. So everyone can be able to give their input, what they feel may be the best way as you build out the design. You want to make sure that you have consultation with the stakeholders who matter, who are going to be affected. And hopefully in a good way by the building of the airport. And so that's a priority. My first initial briefing, I thought it went very well. I'm looking forward to continuing to work and build out the design plans and get through all of the necessary approvals to move forward and have the start of that airport.
So it is safe to say that the Manchester Airport Group is locked in.
They are locked in as the operators.
As the operators. And when you say operators, obviously they will construct the build out, and you said funding is already in place, or certainly part of the funding. That means that they will also manage, because they have a reputation for...
I understand that the RFP was a consortium. So there is a team that's already working along with them, Bahamians who are working on the design plan, the flow, and everything. So all of this is what I'll be getting more details of. The first initial briefing was for me to understand where we are, for me to meet with them and go through what the government priorities are so that they can understand how important it is to get to a place where we are cutting that ribbon for Grand Bahamians
absolutely.
to have their new airport.
Oh, absolutely. And I know you're only in the seat for just over 3 weeks. Matter of fact, not even 3 weeks, perhaps two-ish, a little over two. So I will frame these following questions more like this. Are you hoping to, along with the consortium, or everybody who is around the table, to perhaps present where conditions will be outlined that the government, that Manchester Group must meet certain criteria, so that if by any chance there's a falling out somehow, and as can happen, that there will be stipulations in place?
Absolutely. So we worked very close with the Office of the Attorney General while we were building out the agreements in the energy transformation, energy reform, and there was quite a number of agreements. One of the key things that we had was KPIs. And that's key performance indicators. You have to have KPIs to make sure they're meeting the standard. And then you have to have condition precedents, CPs. You have to meet certain conditions before you could move into a phase where you feel like you're locked in, you're protected, you're safe in this contractual arrangement. But even after the fact, there are still parts of the project, parts of the operation that will have to be met based on what we've agreed. And when you fall short, then you go to the clauses that talk about breach and penalties and what have you. I believe that the Office of the Attorney General was very instrumental in providing oversight and guiding us through that process with the energy reform. And so we will definitely have the same oversight for any of the other projects ongoing to make sure the Bahamian people are protected, right?
Yes, and informed along the way. I know that you're quite new to the ministry, but I just want to ask, are they making any demands of government in terms of, listen, this must be in place, here's where the government needs to show up so that we can better and sort of more smoothly move forward?
So, like I said, it was initial briefing for me to meet with them, understand them. I think the first initial request is for us to assess the geotech and the flood mitigation reports, and for everyone to come to an agreed position in terms of how we will rebuild the airport for a safe and efficient, but one that can withstand any incident in terms of storm or hurricane if it was to happen in the case like it did years ago. And so that's the place where we are now. We're talking about environmental concerns, hurricane concerns, being prepared, storm readiness. And so those were more of the conversation we're having collaboratively, not as demands. Now, I can assure you, when you get down into the nitty-gritty of the legal discussions and really putting everything in a tight framework, I think those will definitely be more detail coming out of that.
Yes, absolutely. And is it too early to talk about timelines in terms of we already, I know phase one.
Well, we're in phase one. So I can't say for sure and lock in any timelines, but I can assure you and your watching and listening audience, this remains to be a priority of this government. And so rest assured, it's a priority, and so we'll be getting full attention and the support needed to get us to the place of having a new and improved international airport in Grand Bahama.
It really is a very important announcement. It's one that Grand Bahamians have been waiting for years to hear because, again, the hotel and all the other agreements and projects in the pipeline, the thought is if this airport happens, when this airport happens, those things will just follow. And so this is certainly very important for Grand Bahama. This is coming from a British citizen who's watching this evening. Does government need to pay pre-construction ground prep before Manchester can begin? Well, I know, of course, you say that it's in phase one of discussions and negotiations, so those things have not been brought up as yet. But I thank you for your question, viewer. Thank you so much. They participate greatly in the show, and so I certainly value that. So, of course, you talked also the aviation aspect of your presentation today. Obviously, Grand Bahama was a headliner. We quickly saw that and grabbed onto it. But there are so many other airports and airport projects that are happening around the country to again sort of resurrect, strengthen, and keep those economies going. Let's talk about some other ones you announced. Ragged Island, for example.
Ragged Island, Rum Key.
Rum Key.
Yes. Is the one. Rum Key was signed. I actually was at the signing with the Deputy Prime Minister, and that was about maybe 35 days ago. I think it was just before election. I couldn't believe when I saw the phase or the stage that they are. They are already putting up the walls. And so we're going Friday to do a site visit with the team that's been working along with the Renaissance Airport Revolution or what have you. And so I'm excited about that. Bimini has been moving very fast. We see improvements in Cat Island, the larger airport in Cat Island. We also see that North Eleuthera had the footings and everything placed in. And so I saw the MP Petty shared some videos of a lot of the materials are now landed. And so much more work will be moving fast because most of the time some of our delays is the shipping of the key materials to really start getting the work and seeing the walls go up. And so I'm excited that their materials have landed. We've had a lot of movement with the airport, still have a lot of ways to go, but I'm quite happy with the progress that I've seen. Deadman's Key, I spoke about Long Island as well, Deadman's Key. So quite a lot going on.
You also talk as a part of this sort of airport renaissance aviation overhaul, you talked about the new gates for LPIA to attract even larger aircraft.
So the present position of LPIA is they've outgrown the amount of tourists or the amount of airplanes that we are now attracting, and there's more room to grow. So with the knowledge that you have almost outgrown your airport infrastructure and you have room to grow, which means that other airlines are waiting to come in, then there is the discussion of an opportunity for redevelopment. Redevelopment that allows you to grow as our tourism industry continues to grow. And people use New Providence now, in most cases, as their landing spot. So they're transiting to our family islands and they're excited to see the Bahamas. And so we need to make sure that we're positioning ourselves by being able to expand and redevelop when we see the need. And that's a discussion that's happening as well now.
Now, we have a comment from San Andres. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Says that San Andres is urgently in need of a terminal building. I'm sure you're aware of that. And
yes, I am. I actually have a meeting on that with Minister Lundy tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Well, did you hear that, viewer?
Yes.
This viewer, Mark A. Scott, did you hear that?
I want everyone to rest assured that their members of parliament, all who know what the needs are as it pertains to airport infrastructure, has already been flagging me down and taking whatever little time I could find in the midst of our budget contribution. So that is during our lunch break that me and Minister Lundy will be sitting and going through some of the concerns he wanted to raise, and then we could look at moving that project forward. So yes.
Now I know as you continue this sort of redevelopment and renaissance, as it was called. I heard Kenneth Roma say that several times. So as you continue this, you want Bahamians to grow along with it. In fact, you've said that you want more Bahamian pilots and aviation administrators and professionals. What is going to how is that going to look in terms of reaching out to those people, getting them trained, skilled, and involved?
So we have been discussing ways that we could advance our aviation sector, obviously through regulatory upgrades, changes, and making sure that we are positioning the Bahamas for the global stage that we're putting ourselves on in aviation, but also partnerships with UB and BTVI, partnerships with some of those international flight schools to create possibly an aviation academy here. We have a Department of Aviation now. It's important for us to build capacity there. So utilize some of the skill set. We have some persons that are qualified to help train, guide, and build out an aviation framework. Bahamians who are working in the sector, whether they're working here or they're working elsewhere, we have that capacity that exists now. I think we are almost at a point where you can say we're really the standard when it comes to our pilots. So we want to encourage more of them to stay in country and pass on the knowledge and to strengthen and continue to build out our aviation sector. And so that's something that's also a focus and priority.
This evening, I am starting tonight's show with Aviation, Energy and Utilities Minister JoBeth Colby Davis. She presented her contribution to the 2026-2027 budget today and is here to talk about some key areas that concern you. And of course, that is keeping the economy growing. You heard her talk about aviation. Well, when we come back after this break, energy, a major announcement. In fact, the people of Grand Bahama may love you more than I don't know who tonight, because they said tomorrow they need to see exactly what you talked about today. Beyond the Headlines is back with JoBeth Colby Davis right after the break. Stay close.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokesmodel. And I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Luckily, it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. They're big enough now to handle your big loads, you know. Yeah, like your comfort on your blanket. But just look at us. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer. Oh, stop! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes you, processes you, and entertains you 24/7.
Here at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store, we believe in our prices. That's why we offer our price match guarantee. If you find any of our items being sold for a lower price at any of our competitors, whether that's online or in store, let us know about it and we'll beat the price right there on the spot. No one does it like CBS Bahamas. Learn more at cbsbahamas.com.
My name is Charles Wesley Rowe. My organic farm is Nice Layers Organic Farm. I have 230 birds up here. I give them fresh water, pumpkin, lettuce, cabbages, all the vegetables. Anything what I eat, they eat. Right now, we sell the eggs for $7 a dozen from Monday to Friday. On Saturdays, you can get 4 dozen eggs for $21. I'll be located on Jamaica Road, western side, Silverstone Primary School.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madeira Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. In this segment, we have still with us Minister of Energy, Aviation and Utilities, JoBeth Colby Davis, just hours after she delivered her 2026-2027 communication to the budget. She is here to talk about some of the key announcements she made in some of those areas. Of course, you heard at the top of the show in the first segment, the announcements as it relates to aviation and shoring up that industry. By the way, hello, we have some Brits watching. Okay. They have a group and they participate, and so awesome. they just mentioned that and said it, and so hello to you all. Thank you for watching. So let's shift to energy. Energy, Lord Jesus, the summer. Let's just talk about this. Yeah. Yes, let's talk about it. So, but here's some good news. We'll start here. Yeah. Some 17,000 residents and 1,500 small business owners in Grand Bahama could look forward to a decrease in their electricity bills as early as tomorrow. Now, when you mentioned this, well, first of all, it's gone all over. Like I've seen it in several places on WhatsApp. Good. And so let's just talk about that.
I was hoping for that to happen sooner. Yes, Shanique, I was hoping for that to happen sooner because that has been one of the key things the Prime Minister really wanted to do for Grand Bahamians since we began this energy reform, to have them included into the uniform tariff that every other Bahamian on every other island was benefiting from, having that uniformity. So even where the logistical cost is greater in some instances, we have a uniform rate on Abaco, Exuma, Eleuthera, Andros, Bimini. Everyone's paying that uniform rate except
Grand Bahama.
Right? And it's because they were private. So it's not their fault. It's just that their utility company was not aligned with BPL's tariff rates as approved by our regulator, ERCA. And so now that the government has acquired Grand Bahama Power Company, the key thing is to get them under that same uniformity, to remove some of those extra added costs that you'd see. Minister Moxie always spoke about that storm recovery that continued to stay on your bill years and years after, and have them adopt the rates that everyone else was seeing on their bills. And that allows them to enter into our equity rate adjustment program that sees the 0 to 200 kilowatt hour base rate as zero on everyone's bill. So that now is a part of their billing.
What difference will this make for them? I mean, Grand Bahama has been needing a break and also sort of a hand up.
It's the start to them really seeing some of the relief that others have experienced with the energy reform, right? And so where instances where they were paying 0.22 cents, they're paying 0.22 cents when there's 351 to 800 kilowatt hours usage on their bill, that will drop to 0.11.
Oh, great savings.
Yeah, that's the type of savings
Yeah.
you're trying to see. That's for the residential. Where the commercial, I believe, was experiencing, is it at 0.18 or somewhere around there cents to 20,000 to 100,000 kilowatt hour. That drops to 0.14. So there's savings that's automatic by them coming under the uniform tariff.
Now that's all good news, right? But people say, man, BPL can't keep other places on, and they're trying to take on Grand Bahama.
BPL has been doing a very good job in terms of managing the state of their assets to keep power connected with age-old equipment is something that we have to, at some point, start to really give credit to our engineers and our technicians who sometimes rebuild parts that are not being sold anymore to make sure they bring an engine back to power, to make sure they get a transformer working, right? And in New Providence, I spoke about this in my contribution today. We don't want outages to happen. We do not want outages because BPL makes no money if there's an outage. Our KWH that is on your bill every month is based on your usage. So if nothing is coming to you, you're not using anything, therefore we can't charge you. So that is always a priority for utility company, for electricity company, to make sure you have electricity, because that's the industry. You get power, we get to charge you because you used some of our power, right? So their focus has been to do the foundational work on the energy reform. But at the same time, we are faced with being in very hot summer months.
Right.
And the type of heat that we naturally see. Remember, these guys work this system, some of them been with BPL 15, 20 plus years, right? So they know what the usage is normally on their system in May, June, July.
Yes.
So our peak month in our books, our peak month is actually September. That's our peak month, and that's usually when we have those major storms come anyway. That's when it's extremely hot, even in the sea, you know. And
You're
then,
right.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
but you experience
our
that level of
records
heat
in BPL
yes.
says our peak is September. So when you are saying summer readiness and maintenance, we're actually working towards being really in place for the peak months. May has been seen as a very, very hot month. And how do you tell? You tell by, if you look at May the last 5 years and see your usage, your KWH on the system, how much capacity you had to use in your megawatts, and you compare it to what you're using in this May, that's an automatic. The numbers don't lie. And so we had a break in our foundational project when the unfortunate incident happened with the employee from Pike who passed, and that took out 8 weeks from our foundational work. Everything completely paused because there was that incident, right? So we now have been pushed back. That's a delay. That's a project delay. This is some of the things that you discuss when you're negotiating those agreements, these unfortunate delays on the project, on the timeline, and how you make that back up. So we unfortunately have to complete those in months that we thought wouldn't be so hot, but unfortunately is hot. When you're working on those wires and them systems and them circuits, one, faults show up. So they're seeing faults on the system while they're working that naturally would not see because you're not putting so much demand on it. The second thing is some of our circuits were removed and de-energized offline in areas where we naturally would send our load through 2 circuits. We've been utilizing 1, not expecting this increase that we've seen. So when you're using one, but demand goes up, the load goes up, the pressure goes up on that circuit. So you're having some occurrences that you naturally wouldn't have expected. One, if you're working in cooler temperatures, and two, if we were able to complete it in the timeline that we originally expected, but for that incident.
I know that this reform, energy reform, is something you announced in the last term. How competitive is it when power outages are happening in many other nations around the world, and they are bigger nations with, I guess, stronger might and muscle,
and more
and I bet they are more at the front of the line than, say, the Bahamas. How much more challenging is that to be able to still get us in a timely fashion where we need to be in terms of this total reform?
So when it comes to, you mean sourcing
equipment and that kind
material,
of thing? Mm-hmm.
Well, it's certain ones that in the industry you know them as long lead items. So long lead items, once you already see your project, we already see clear that by 2026, 2027, we want to start commissioning some of these projects. So that's why when I initially got in, that was 2 years ago, remember, I was discussing this from, I first got the Ministry of Energy. That allowed us the time to place your long lead item orders. So you would see in Eleuthera, we have all kind of trailers now on the land where they're going to be putting up.
Yes, Abaco,
yes.
Eleuthera.
So our long lead items are now arriving, right? And some of our partners have been discussing some of the T&D items that BPL would need to get them to the table to ask for these materials and equipment so that they could begin doing the transmission and distribution work on those islands where we're bringing those hybrid microgrid projects and plants online first.
And I heard you announce it today, and I was quite happy to hear it. This would mitigate a lot of this, particularly in the summer.
A lot of the outage, you would see minimized. A lot of that would become distant. But the one thing that I want people to take from what I discussed today is not only minimize the outage, but it allows for our country to continue to grow and develop. And that's what's important. Our family islands are growing. Investments are going there. People are moving back to the island where their parents were born and they have property. And so it allows growth. It allows expansion. That's why we have to tackle the challenges of our energy sector. I am not happy when our people experience outages. But those are some of the growing pains for where we have to take our country.
And New Providence can also smile as well this summer, right?
New Providence could smile, but you know, where there are challenges, we have the team equipped to address it. We have them there.
Minister, I have you on speed dial.
Smiling.
I have
you on
speed
smile.
dial. But I thank you very much. I know
it's
been a long day, but you committed to come here and speak to the Bahamian people tonight. I thank you very much. Of course, Aviation, Energy and Utilities Minister JoBeth Colby Davis on the heels of her budget communication this morning, here this evening to talk about some of those key areas that interest all of us everywhere across this nation. And thank you for stopping by this evening and speaking to those.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Well, when we come back, the Hot Topics panel is here. What do they have to say about some of her announcements and also some of the things that she kind of just rests on the table for us? Beyond the Headlines is back right after this. Stay close.
We believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's great to have you all tuned in. This evening, I want to get to this comment coming in from Eleuthera. Shanique, tell the minister I saw the trailers at the BPL plant in Hatchet Bay today. You can see the work in progress. Of course, that is in response to Minister JoBeth Colby Davis stating that that work is happening in Abaco and Eleuthera, and that the trailers and whatnot are there. And so there's someone from Eleuthera this evening saying that they saw it, and so yeah, they absolutely saw it, and they are happy to see movement in that regard. Well, we're going to jump in right here because I'm not going to talk. I have a lot to get to with my Hot Topics panel, and so I'm going to ask them very, very quickly just to respond to the airport announcement. Well, actually, let's talk about, since we're on energy and BPL and all the rest of it. Good evening, Peggy, Gabrielle, Howard. Wonderful to have you here. It's good to see each of you. You all, let's just talk about energy, whether it's the Grand Bahamians expected to experience savings as of tomorrow. You heard me read from Eleuthera saying, listen, hey, the trailers are here. We're looking forward to relief. And of course, you heard her talk about New Providence, but the work goes on for this energy reform. Your thoughts, Peggy, Gabrielle, Howard?
Hi, good night, Bahamas. Good night, Shanique. Thank you once again for having me. What can I say? Progress continues. And that's what we're seeing and come before us. That what was promised, that what was campaigned upon, progress in this country, and that's why it was a good idea to re-elect this administration. And so Eleuthera, progress is happening. Grand Bahama, I celebrate you. I celebrate you. And this, I think, is the beginning of a new era in Grand Bahama where things will continue to progress on their behalf. And so as we continue to watch, I listened to the minister. I have a speech before me going through it, and she made commitment of great things, especially in aviation, to continuation of the airports in the Family Island, North Eleuthera. And so I'm cheering, I'm excited for all islands as they continue. I can't say it again, progress.
Gabrielle, jump in quick.
Any relief for the Bahamian people is definitely one I welcome and I celebrate with them. Airports are needed. We are an archipelago. We have to be able to, before we can even welcome anyone else here, be able to maneuver back and forth from our family of islands. And I really wanted to mention to the minister before she left, upgrades to some of the, I didn't get to hear about the upgrades to some of the existing airports. I know they're building some new ones, but I was down there in Eleuthera, Governor's Harbor, ain't got no AC. So if they could look at that, they had one super wash fan in there, and I thought I was gonna pass out, and they also do not sell water. That was alarming to me.
But isn't there
no
a sort of a concession area?
Not in Governor's Harbor.
Some stores.
No.
Well, I need to go and see if I can have a business in the
so-
Governor's Harbor Airport. Then.
Please, and
Yeah, I need it.
It's a lucrative thing they can get for the Lutheran to get that spot in there. They make me throw away my water, and then I go on in the back there, and it was hot, and there wasn't no water. So please, Minister, if you can look into that, upgrading that airport, so that, because water is a basic need. If somebody passes out, it's the summer heat.
No, but sometimes there are delays.
Things
you
are
just need,
yes.
and then it's a good idea to be able to have that once you've checked in. That's the area you're talking about.
So upgrades, I love the idea of new airports, but also some upgrades to the existing ones to make them comfortable for travelers in case they experience delays and just for traveling purposes ordinarily.
Yeah, Shanique, good evening to you, Gabby, Peggy, and to the Bahamas. I'm very, very impressed with how Minister Colby Davis appears to be hitting the ground running. She seems to be interested in making an impact and delivering results. I mean, she's been in her capacity for just over 2 weeks now. I heard some snippets of her contribution today, and just seeing her sitting there, looking at her and seeing that she's intent on doing a good job and making an impact and bringing results. I admonish Grand Bahamas residents, however, to just be a bit cautiously optimistic. The announcements are great, but as far as energy is concerned in these bills, I want you, Shanique, to have some folks from Grand Bahama 4 or 5 months from now, when they've already experienced 4 or 5 billing cycles, to come on your show with their bills, and then we'll compare what was happening before to now. And I say cautiously optimistic because, we had the F&M administration had a guy of a lighter hue with some nice hair, pump fake with a signature that he was signing an agreement. And then we had the last Davis administration eating hors d'oeuvres prematurely and knocking down buildings and then fixing the glass later. So announcements don't impress me. We want to see the impact and the results that Minister Colby Davis has been talking about. And so I admonish my brothers and sisters in Grand Bahama to just be cautiously optimistic and cheer on your government, because it's the government of the Bahamas. It's not the PLP government. It's never the F&M government. When you elect a government, it's the government of the Bahamas. So let's cheer them on.
Absolutely, Howard. Great point. And certainly, of course, as you know, that I will certainly speak with residents of Grand Bahama in the short term and moving forward. I'm rooting for them, absolutely. Meanwhile, you all, a family vacation to the Bahamas took a costly turn after 6 Colorado cruise ship passengers were ordered to pay thousands of dollars in fines and compensation to police officers following a brawl at the Nassau cruise port that left one officer with a dislocated shoulder. I wish, guys, I wish we had this video to show as we talk. Videos of that reported incident went viral this week. The group in the teepee who, I tell you, give me something to drink while I talk. The group what's happened with the teepee, y'all? It's stuck, eh? Okay then, fine. I'll look here. I'll look this way. Yes, arrived in Nassau aboard the Disney Fantasy on June 7th, appeared before Senior Magistrate Cara Turnquest to answer a series of charges arising from the incident. 3 police officers were listed as virtual complainants in this matter, including one officer who, again, as I said, suffered a dislocated shoulder during the attack. The defendants, Danielle Duran, Gabrielle Aguilar, Jalen Duran, Irvin Aguilar, Andrew Tapia, and Jose Duran all faced various charges, including assaulting police officers, causing harm, damage to property, which involved a glass door of a police station, disorderly behavior, resisting arrest, using obscene language, and escape. We see it right there. This one escaped. Now, Danielle Duran, a Denver-based nurse, received one of the stiffest penalties, being fined $16,600 in order to pay $25,000 in compensation to the injured officer or face 1 year at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Jalen Duran and Gabrielle Aguilar were each fined $11,600 in order to pay compensation or serve 6 months in prison. Irvin Aguilar was fined $28,000 or ordered to pay $25,000 and ordered to pay $25,000 in compensation or face 3 months at B-Docks. Court officials indicated that Jose Duran, identified as the owner of a Colorado trucking company, and Andrew Tapia had already paid their fines. So there you see it, panelists, hefty fines all around for all involved. I imagine social media is having a field day because we figured this exactly what would happen. Your thoughts on this?
Well deserved. Well deserved that they got fined, and they will hopefully tell their friends.
Hefty fines too. We've not seen fines on that level in a minute.
Yeah, or go to Foxell. Yeah, that will teach you.
I'm happy that the fines were compensation, in the form of compensation for the officer. A lot of times we find compensation going to the state, and it doesn't benefit the victim. So in this case, this officer dislocated his shoulder, will not be able to work and do his job, and who knows how that's even going to heal. So I feel like they should also serve some prison time. It shouldn't have been or, it should have been and go to jail. Because y'all take us for low fence. Y'all come in here and it seems like this is a pattern of bad behavior from visitors.
Yes.
You could act up, you could do whatever in the Bahamas because they could give you a slap on the wrist and we rich. We could pay the little fine and we could go about our business. No, pay the fine and serve some time, and after you then spend that little couple of months in B-Docks, you ain't gonna do it no more.
Shanique, I completely agree. I think that they look at us as a banana republic. You come to the Bahamas and you came here as a tourist, you have your business, you have a little bit of money, you're an elite somewhere else, and you're 25,000 and our 16,000 and 10 and 11,000. When you're someone who is of a different socioeconomic status, that's like nothing for these guys to write these checks and pay their way out of a problem. But you come to the Bahamas as a tourist, right? And when you come here and you have that kind of disrespectful disregard for law and order, I mean, these people were in the police station carrying on like that. Now,
attacking police officers, yes.
And my thing is, I do not think any one of those individuals would do that in the police station in Colorado?
No, sir.
No.
If they were in the police station in Colorado. And so, like Gabby said, they take us for low fence. And I believe that the fines should have been and jail time. Because once you get in Foxhell prison with Bubba and them, the drop-in soap is a different experience. When you got to use that slop bucket, that's a different experience. So when you then pay your fine and now you could go back home to Colorado and talk about how bad y'all carry on and share your stuff on social media, you have gotten a slap on the wrist. So I think we need to start looking at jail time for these people when they come as tourists and end up being criminals.
Yes, I totally agree. We're tired of seeing what appears to be just getting away with a lot here in the Bahamas. It's not the first time tourists have acted out here on these shores. And what's happened? They have always been allowed to just pay their way out of it and go back home to wherever they're from. And so certainly, of course, something that is quite vexing. I want to get to this this evening. Let's just move along. So F&M leader Michael Pintard says, listen, no way, Jose. There is no resignation on the horizon as far as he's concerned. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard is pushing back against growing calls for him to step aside following the party's defeat last month. Pintard is dismissing criticism from individuals. He says that they do not have any relevance in the party's decision-making process, while maintaining that the F&M has already made its choice on the way forward. Despite questions about his leadership after the election loss, Pintard says he remains committed to leading the party and is prepared to continue the work of rebuilding the organization.
Relevant people are the council members of the party, and they've made a determination, not because I petitioned them or asked them. I placed myself in their hands. I was certainly prepared to do whatever they determine. I'm a team player, and they made a determination that they wish for me to stay on, notwithstanding the fact that they were presented with options.
Well, there you have it. Pintard says, listen, they made the decision to have him stay on. I want to get your thoughts on that, you all. Of course, we know that this is a week after the F&M has announced that it will not go to convention this year. In fact, it has put its convention off to 2027. But Pintard says, listen, he's in the seat. He intends to stay there. Peggy Gabrielle Howard. Howard, maybe you jump in first.
Yeah, all right. So for me, Shanique, I really, and I said on your show before, I believe that when 2/3 of your leadership was taken down in a general election and only Mr. Pintard as the leader prevailed, you have to go into a convention with stability and part of your leadership. You cannot totally gut your party after a general election. I know we always throw in there, well, Westminster say you should resign. Well, we have what I call a bastardized system, and we don't comply fully with the Westminster requirements of executing government, right? So that we can stop that right there. I believe that it was in the F&M's best interest to keep Mr. Pintard on for those stability purposes and to keep their party intact. Now, I expected, though, that they would have had a convention this year as required by their constitution, which I believe is every 2 years, and the last one would have been in 2024. So Gabby can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is the case. Now, here's why. Mr. Pintard should have wanted that to happen rather than after the election being kept in place by acclamation at a central council meeting. Right? That is not the true litmus test. The true litmus test is at convention. If they had gone into a convention in October or November of this year, Mr. Pintard could have continued to make his case. He would have had a few months as the leader of the opposition in his performance. And what he could do is say, look, give me another chance. I can lead us into this next election. Mr. Davis is probably not going to run for a third term. I'm here. If he prevails, Shanique, this now cements him in his position at a convention a mere 4 months after general election loss. But when you defer out to another year and 4 months, it makes it look like something untoward is going on. You're trying to do your little funny stuff to keep yourself in place, and I don't think it's a good look.
Yes.
Shanique, Michael Pintard is an F&M problem. It's not a Bahamian problem. What is our concern, though, is Michael Pintard is the leader of the official opposition. Good governance needs strong opposition. And so far, I've seen crazy opposition instead of strong opposition. And so we need them to get their ass together, stop being crazy in the House of Assembly, and do the people business to ensure good governance.
So my opinion on this differs a little bit from a lot of persons. I want to echo the sentiments, though, of Howard when he said, I believe that they should have gone to a convention. The last convention was held the 1st of June 2024. And 6 months would have made November, 6 months from the general election. That would have been more than enough time, as Howard mentioned, to solidify any type of decision making. Here's the real issue. Everyone's focusing on leadership, the leader post. A political organization functions with organs. Your CEO, who is the chairman, has already said he's exiting stage left. So where are you getting these plans from? Where are you getting this regrouping from? Where is the strategy coming from? You've had party officers who abandoned their position prior to the general election. So how do you intend to function for possibly the next 16 months on an exoskeleton crew? It just cannot be effective and efficient, because the crown does not just rest on Michael Pintard's head. People need to understand that he does not make the Free National Movement. He is the leader, but a political organization runs on its organs. You need a chairman, you need deputies, you need vice chairmen, you need working political arms and branches so that you can be an effective and efficient organization to possibly win government.
What do you all make of the social media? And this talk is getting louder. It started as a rumble, and now it's loud talk, and it's getting louder, that Andre Rollins is eclipsing everyone else in the House. Gabrielle, you talk about needing organs and various tentacles to be a full-fledged, functioning, effective, impactful opposition, getting ready for perhaps governance in the next general election. What are your thoughts about Andre Rollins and the fact that people are, I don't know if they're trying to just poke whatever they're doing, but they are saying Andre Rollins is out there and getting people's attention and have them talking more than anyone else.
Well, Shanique, on Facebook, there's almost an agreement that Mr. Andre Rollins came to take over. I think it is explosive, aggressive behavior in the House of Assembly. To me, it appears as if he is auditioning for a role. Not only him, but Mr. Thompson from Grand Bahama. They all seem to be focused on who is the loudest, who's the best spoken. Like there's a position opening, and they're auditioning for it. It is very interesting. But people are making their conclusion based on what we see on Parliamentary Channel.
I beg to differ. I think Andre Rollins has always had that personality. He's always been he's a doctor with good bedside manners. People love him. He has charisma. He has uniqueness. He has nerve. He has the talent for politics, hence why he went into a seat and got himself elected. The thing about it is you have 8 members in there. All of them are going to have unique personalities. All of them have something to bring to the table. Andre is going to bring what he has to offer, and he's going to give Long Island the best representation. So again, people are focusing on, well, what he's doing, what's Pintard doing? He needs to be doing his job so that when 5 years roll around or whenever the PM calls an election, he can be reelected.
Yeah, they all are doing what they do. I mean, Andre Rollins has a personality. He's a passionate guy. He has a flair for the dramatic. This is nothing new for him. I mean, we might forget because we haven't seen him in the House of Assembly for 10 plus years, right? But
we haven't forgotten Andre Rollins.
Yeah,
we have not forgotten
this is Andre Rollins 2.0. And you know, right now it might look like Mr. Pintard is a bit subdued, but he throws his blows too, but he's a different personality. Look, Shanique, victory has 1,000 fathers, but defeat is an orphan, okay? So there are going to be people in certain corners who are going to be calling for Mr. Pintard to leave. It's time to resign. When you take a beating of 33-8, it stings. You have some F&Ms out there. I mean, F&Ms love their party, just like PLPs and COI. And when you have suffered a tremendous loss like this, I mean, it's clear when you're emotional, you want a change, right? But Andre Rollins is going to do what he does. And at the appropriate time, him and anyone else has the opportunity to put their names forward.
Yeah, no, we always enjoy an Andre Rollins. He makes things quite interesting in Parliament. Certainly, of course, we had to and will continue to discuss what social media is saying. But here are some comments coming in. The organization rises and falls on leadership. The chairman is not the leader. He is the COO of an organization. For you, Gabrielle, Eleuthera is saying this, that the concession stands you speak about says that the Governor's Harbour Airport, they are not open as yet due to the use of customs and immigration sharing space in the domestic departure lounge until the international arrivals area is completed. But they do have the licenses and everything is in place. They are just, that airport continues to be under construction is what I'm hearing.
It is, man. I almost passed out from the heat.
What
am I supposed to do? Wait for some water?
My Luther people will continue to keep us informed. You should have taken it.
They make me throw it away, Shanique. They make me throw it away and you tell me.
I thank you very much. Peggy, I thank you. Gabrielle, thank you. Howard, thank you so much. And listen, thanks to all of you for participating. I mean, you participated tonight in incredible measures. Thank you so much. I valued all of your comments, your inputs, questions. Certainly, of course, thank you again, and thank you for tuning in. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, of course, at the top of tonight's show, Aviation, Energy, and Utilities Minister JoBeth Colby-Davis, my Hot Topics panel. Thank you all so much. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.
The Verizon Media Group.